They are due in court today. Joining us right now is a former prosecutor, criminal defense attorney now, Don Schweitzer. Donald, good to have you here. So if you could just take us through sort of the timeline here a little bit. We understand there should be a statement on this before 1 o'clock Eastern time. Now, if there are no charges brought at that time, is this case over, or can it still land in the hands of a grand jury?
It could land in the hands of the grand jury. It could also be prosecuted still by the prosecutor. They don't have to file charges right now. These defendants have to be released within a certain statutory time period in order for their constitutional rights to be protected. But that doesn't mean that there's a rush to file charges. And usually it's not a good idea to rush in making a determination, in a case like this.
Why not? You need more time to go through all the potential evidence in the case, or is it more than that?
These cases are very complex. A prosecutor in this case is looking at ethical considerations. We don't want to let suspects like this get away with rape. On the other hand, there's huge political considerations. In this case, in particular, there's going to be obvious comparisons with the Duke rape trial. And then we also look at the difficulty of prosecuting these cases. So this is a very difficult decision, and to be rushed is not a good thing. So, if I were the prosecutor, I would demand that this case be fully investigated before I made a decision. And it's not likely that all the evidence is in such a short period of time.
Okay, so if there are no charges filed, it doesn't mean they're off the hook. They could be let out. And they already were given $100,000 bail. That was the bail that had been set. Donald, what does that tell you about that? Is that low bail,
it's
high bail? It is?
No, it's a significant bail in that particular state. Here in California, it's not, but it tells me that the police really think they have a case, that there's some serious evidence in this case, and they think that the DA is going to possibly file it for them to keep them in there. And one thing about this case that is notable is that the defendants apparently have made some statements to the police, and whether or not they kept their stories straight and are consistent with one another is going to be a big thing for these prosecutors.
Right. Also, I was just listening to Steve Brown's report. I guess it said that the alleged victim flagged down a police officer on Friday, although the incident allegedly occurred either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, that she had been tested with one of these so-called rape kits. In your experience, Donald, is that unusual at all that the alleged victim would have waited during that period of time before talking with a police officer?
Bridget, I think that most people in law enforcement know that there's usually a delay in reporting for rape cases, but that doesn't mean that the defense can't use that. Obviously, the jury, if it went to trial, would be asked to consider that. But here's the thing. That medical examination is going to be all-telling, because not only will it identify who she had an encounter with, but it's going to show whether or not it was consensual. What a lot of people don't know is when there's a medical examination of a rape victim, it's going to show things like trauma to the vaginal area, and that's significant in a case like this.
All right, well, we should be finding out a little bit more about this case very soon, maybe within an hour or so. Donald, thank you for talking with us this morning.
Thank you.